Daniel 8, the mystery of the 2300-day time prophecy. In the previous video, we learned that the heavenly sanctuary ministry of Jesus would be cast down to the ground by Papal Rome, and traditions and dogmas would be taught in place of biblical truth. The host or God's people would be trampled underfoot. We saw that they were persecuted, burned at the stake, tortured, and killed. Point 1. How long will the sanctuary and the people of God be trampled underfoot? Daniel 8:14 reads, How long will the vision be concerning the daily sacrifices and the transgression of desolation, the giving of both the sanctuary and the host to be trampled underfoot? And he said to me, For 2,300 days. Then the sanctuary will be cleansed. Point 2. How long is 2,300 days? A day in Bible prophecy equals 1 literal year. So the 2,300 days allotted for the events in this vision are 2,300 years. This is known as the day-year principle of prophetic time, and is used in Ezekiel 4:6, which reads, You shall bear the iniquity of the house of Judah 40 days. I have laid on you a day for each year. Ezekiel was instructed by God that one day was representative of 1 literal year. The day-year principle is also taught in Numbers 14:34, which reads, According to the number of the days in which you spied out the land, 40 days, for each day you shall bear your guilt 1 year, namely 40 years. Moses here explains to the children of Israel that they will live in the desert for 40 years. Each year is represented by 1 day. Jesus uses the same day-year principle to prophesy that he would minister for 3 years, and then he would be crucified. Luke 13:32 reads, And he said to them, Go tell that fox, Behold, I cast out demons and perform cures today and tomorrow, and the third day I shall be perfected. Point 3. How can we be sure that the 2,300 days are not 2,300 literal days? The 2,300-day time period cannot be 2,300 literal days, a little over 6 years, because this vision begins during the Persian Empire and encompasses the Grecian, Roman, and Papal empires. Note that Daniel 8:17 and 19 state that the vision extends to the end of time. Daniel 8:17 reads, So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid and fell on my face. But he said to me, Understand, son of man, that the vision refers to the time of the end. Daniel 8:19 reads, And he said, Look, I am making known to you what shall happen in the latter time of the indignation, for at the appointed time the end shall be. The angel Gabriel clearly states here that the vision extends through all the ages, beginning in the reign of Medo-Persia and extending to the end of time. Point 4. What date is the starting point for the 2,300-day prophecy? The angel does not give the starting date in chapter 8. As the angel Gabriel was explaining the meaning of the vision to Daniel, Daniel became ill. Daniel 8:27 reads, And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick 4 days. Afterward I arose and went about the king's business. The starting date is given in chapter 9. Daniel was praying and confessing his sins and the sins of his people when suddenly the angel Gabriel returned and finished explaining the vision. Daniel 9:25 reads, Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the command to restore and build Jerusalem until Messiah the Prince, there shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublesome times. The vision starting point began with the command to restore and build Jerusalem, which had lain in ruins since it was destroyed by King Nebuchadnezzar 70 years before. Point 5. Who gave the command to rebuild Jerusalem? King Artexerxes gave the command to rebuild Jerusalem. Ezra the priest and a company of Jews traveled from Babylon to Jerusalem to restore the city. Ezra 7:11-13 reads, This is a copy of the letter that King Artexerxes gave Ezra the priest. Artexerxes, king of kings, to Ezra the priest. I issue a decree that all those of the people of Israel and the priests and Levites in my realm who volunteer to go up to Jerusalem may go with you. Whatever is commanded by the God of heaven, let it diligently be done for the house of the God of heaven. In this decree, Artexerxes commands Ezra to beautify the temple of God that King Darius had built several years before. The city of Jerusalem was built up at this time, and the wall of Jerusalem was later completed during the time of Nehemiah. Point 6. When was the command to restore and build Jerusalem given? Ezra 7:8 reads, And Ezra came to Jerusalem in the 5th month, which was in the 7th year of the king. The 7th year of King Artexerxes was 457 BC. Point 7. Why is the year 457 BC of so great importance. The year 457 is a starting point of the 2300-day prophecy, which is the longest prophetic time span in the entire Bible. It pinpoints a time that the Messiah would be anointed and cut off. This prophecy also pinpoints the close of probation for the Jewish nation and foretells the destruction of Jerusalem. Most importantly, it foretells when the cleansing of the sanctuary would occur. It foretells when an end of sins and reconciliation for iniquity would be completed. Daniel 9:24 reads, 70 weeks are determined for your people and for your holy city, to finish the transgression, to make an end of sins, to make reconciliation for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal up vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Point 8. When does the prophecy end? The ending date of the prophecy can be easily calculated by adding 2300 days to 457 BC. Because there is no zero between BC and AD, the ending date for the prophecy is 1844. In the next video, we will study what is meant by the close of probation for the Jewish nation, the destruction of Jerusalem, and how the Messiah is cut off. We will also learn what is meant by the cleansing of the sanctuary. If you want to learn more about the prophecies of Daniel 2, 7, and 8, click on the links at the right side of this screen to watch more videos on these topics. Always remember, guesswork isn't necessary. The Bible interprets itself. Until next time, God bless you.